I thought we had it all figured out. 5 years together, building what I believed was a forever kind of love. A home, a family, a future. It all felt so close, so real. But sometimes, life forces you to see the truths you've been trying so hard to ignore. About a year ago, my world started to unravel. I found out he was talking to his ex again. It wasn't physical, not in the way people usually think of cheating. It was emotional. It was the late-night messages that would disappear by morning. The deleted call logs. The inside jokes whispered over the phone that I was never meant to hear. It was the kind of betrayal that doesn't leave a mark on your skin, but shatters something deep inside your soul. You feel like a ghost in your own relationship. When I finally found the courage to confront him, the dam broke. He cried. He swore he didn't know why he did it, that it meant nothing, that he loved me and only me. He begged for another chance. And for a while, I tried. I really tried to believe him. I wanted to rewind time, to go back to the comfortable, trusting love we once had. But it was impossible. Every time his phone lit up and he smiled, a cold dread would wash over me. Every time he was a few minutes late coming home, my mind would spiral, creating scenarios that left me breathless with anxiety. The trust, once a solid foundation, had crumbled into dust. I was living in a constant state of suspicion, and it was exhausting. I was turning into a version of myself I didn't recognize, and I didn't like her very much. I realized I could forgive him for the messages, for the lies, for the hurt. I could understand that he was flawed, that he made a terrible mistake. But I couldn't forget the feeling. The feeling of being replaced in someone's heart while they were still sleeping next to you. The feeling of not being enough. That feeling had become a permanent resident in my chest. One quiet evening, a profound clarity hit me. Forgiveness isn't a contract. It doesn't obligate you to stay where you were hurt. It doesn't mean you have to rebuild on broken ground. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. So, I let him go. It wasn't a dramatic, screaming fight. It was a quiet, heartbreaking conversation on the same couch where we'd shared so many dreams. We both cried. I looked him in the eyes and told him I forgave him. And I meant it. Not the kind of forgiveness that erases the past, but the kind that accepts what happened, acknowledges the pain, and chooses to move forward without the weight of anger. He looked at me with hope in his eyes and asked, "Does this mean we still have a chance?" And for the first time in what felt like forever, I was completely honest with him, and with myself. "No," I said softly. "But I truly hope you learn from this. I hope you become a better person." Leaving was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. It felt like I was mourning a death, the death of the future I had so carefully planned. The first few weeks were a blur of grief. I grieved for the life we were supposed to have, for the person I thought he was, and for the person I was when I was with him. But then, slowly, something began to shift. In the quiet space he left behind, I started to find myself again. I rediscovered the simple joys I'd let go of: my morning yoga routine, painting on weekends, calling my friends just to chat for hours. I rebuilt my life, piece by piece, not around someone else's schedule or moods, but around my own peace, my own happiness, my own worth. It turned out that forgiving him freed me far more than it ever freed him. He was released from my anger, but I was released from the prison of bitterness. We don't talk anymore, and that's okay. The forgiveness was never about restoring our connection. It was about saving myself from being consumed by resentment. It was about ensuring that this experience wouldn't close my heart off to love forever. Now, I'm starting to date again. It's a slow and careful process. This time, I'm not looking for a fairy tale or a perfect person. I've learned that what I truly need is much simpler, yet far more profound. I'm looking for honesty, even when it's difficult. I'm looking for consistency, not grand, empty gestures. I'm looking for someone who takes accountability for their actions instead of making excuses. The most important lesson I learned is this: sometimes, moving on isn't about finding someone better. It's about becoming someone stronger, someone who knows their own value. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to return to what broke you. You can let go of the hurt without having to hold on to the person who caused it. Choosing to walk away isn't selfish. It's the ultimate act of self-respect. It's choosing you. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, remember to be kind to yourself. Your healing is what matters most. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories about growth and self-discovery. See you next time.